Super 6 is a huge opportunity to win cash prizes every single week for predicting some big football scores, 250 grand, sometimes even more. If you join our mini league, you could be getting some cash prize as well, 100 quid to win at classicfootballshirts.co.uk. And there's a huge game against Pitchside at the end of the season that we cannot wait to be part of.
They're going to get so slapped up.
Oh, God, it's going to be good. What we're going to be talking about today, though, is VAR. Does VAR need to be scrapped? It's causing nothing but problems, nothing but drama. Nottingham Forest last week lost their minds, didn't they? They went onto Twitter, they put up a very aggressive tweet, and I think that everybody's had enough of it. Sweden have now got rid of it.
That they banned Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher from their stadium.
I think that is true.
So Monday Night Football at Forest, they can't be there.
They have to do it from a studio.
Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher couldn't be there for City Forest.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You've got to like it.
That's good.
You've got to rate it.
Well done, Forest. Well done.
As much as I love Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, I think they bring a lot of great authenticity to what they do, and I love their opinions. I think Louis Saha had it spot on in that review of the game. He's saying, why can't Nottingham Forest, as a big institution, question VAR and how bad the refereeing has been in the league this season?
No, I don't think there's an issue with Forest questioning it. I do think there's an issue with Forest taking it to social media. I don't think anybody should ever be taking things to not an institution like Forest, an institution like Bouvie. I would say that don't take it to Twitter. You know, if there's something important in your life, people take big decisions.
Yeah, this is where me and you kind of disagree.
Really unedifying, man.
Because I think ultimately social media nowadays is a branch of communication, right? It's a branch where you can put statements out. So putting it on your Twitter or putting it on your website is the same thing.
Twitter is incredibly toxic.
And we kind of criticised
Arsenal.
Remember Arsenal did a statement when they had a decision go against them. And we kind of laughed at it and said, this is small time, what are you doing? I don't mind a manager having a go in his interview. But then what you find is they get suspended sometimes. So clubs are in a position now where Forest have to appoint a bellend like Clattenburg to be their spokesman against referees. Because the manager's going to get banned if he says what he really thinks. So I feel like whilst I think it's wrong to make those statements and put those statements out there like that, and I'd rather see them just go out in a press conference or an interview, managers have their hand tied now. They're either getting fined, they're getting suspended, and then
but we know that social media has a tendency to be flammable. We know that it's incendiary. It's like if you just put something out on social media and people act in a bad way to that, that's not your fault, right? Just for putting it out there. Well, it is if you know that people are going to react badly to it. You have a responsibility.
But again, I think we're getting lost. We're getting lost in
a buy argument. We're ultimately the main issue is that VAR is ruining the sport in this league. It's ruining football. And yeah, we can debate if Nottingham Forest should be doing what they're doing. Chelsea, the way they got robbed, in my opinion, of a legitimate 3-2 win, it would have been at Villa Park. It was absolutely embarrassing. The way they're reviewing football matches and re-refereeing the games, it's ridiculous.
No, I agree. I mean, that what it's taking away from the game, it's removing so much. So much of what's good about football is lost trying to perfect a sport that is by its very nature imperfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be totally flawless. I think there is an acceptance from the vast majority of football fans that occasionally an offside goal might be given against you. In fact, there definitely is, because even now, when we have VAR, we still all have to accept that ill-gotten goals will be ruled as legitimate.
I was always against the introduction of VAR from the start because I think it changes football at all different levels. But I also remember these conversations happening before where it was like, people are losing jobs because of referees and bad decisions and this, that and the other. So I also remember there being that kind of push for VAR, and then once it's here, the same people are pushing back.
Because we thought it would work. It was a very noble experiment that has ultimately been proved to be flawed.
What do you think is the biggest issue with VAR? Is it the offsides?
No, the offside is the issue for me. Yeah, the offside.
So with that changing to the UEFA style of things, would that appease you?
But the Chelsea goal was about a push, and if the referee doesn't see that push as a foul at the time, the referee should be refereeing 99% of the game. He should see what he sees and make decisions. VAR should be used in moments where someone gets punched off the camera behind his back. Yeah. He doesn't see it. Some big challenge that he might not see because there's someone in the way. There has to be 1 in 100 decisions, or maybe 10 out of 100 or whatever. It's a very small margin. He's used VAR to re-referee the game because he can't be bold enough to make a decision. It's making him worse at his job.
In fairness, though, Booth, I think he did make a decision. The decision
was a non-decision.
Yeah. The decision was goal.
Yeah,
he didn't think it was a foul.
Exactly. So they're re-refereeing games almost in these soft moments, and it's just creating this drudgery.
The referee had a clear eye line. Like there was there was no issue with the referee's view. There was no reason to look at VAR. The referee had the perfect purchase of the situation. He had the perfect spot, and he was in the perfect in terms of the distance that he was from the situation. So the only reason now to review it is to re-referee the game.
I think there's a lot of things as well. It's like when you look at some of the penalty decisions that you see given, the one that wasn't given against City in the FA Cup, and then you've seen similar things given after. The inconsistency of that is crazy, whether you think the penalties or not, just the inconsistency of it isn't good as well.
The Jack Grealish handball from a free kick. Yeah.
And then you see the Wan-Bissaka one that's given. It's kind of similar. Do you know what I mean? It's like
the ball inadvertently hit a player's hand 24 hours later. Once it was a penalty, once it wasn't. It doesn't make any sense.
It's not making the sport any more accurate in terms of decision making.
No, and it's making us as well. It's so trying, isn't it? It's like painful having these chats.
Well,
even just talking about VAR.
I think we could get away from this by moving to Sweden, because this from the Telegraph. Sweden have become the first country to refuse to use video assistant referees following a fan revolt against the introduction. The president of the Swedish Football Association, Fredrik Reinfeldt, confirmed VAR would not be implemented in its competitions, having previously proclaimed the system our future.
See, this is brilliant. I wonder if it will be a movement. I wonder if it will be, the impetus for other organisations to jump ship as well.
Now, this obviously comes from the fact that Swedish clubs are at least 51% fan-owned. So therefore, fans have more of a say over there than they do here. So there's that.
Oh yeah, see, we've just got no power, have we? We're just so insignificant, and I think that we're all fans of clubs who exist in a league where the clubs basically see us as insignificant.
We are insignificant. I think the club
we're not. We're completely not, but we're seen as being insignificant.
Oh, but yeah, no.
The reason why
the clubs,
the reason why we're insignificant is because we as individuals are replaceable, but we're not insignificant as a collective.
Oh, of course not. But football, I think COVID taught us a lot about what football thinks of fans. I don't think they'd care if no fans are in the grounds. It's all about what they sell outside.
No. I think they care. I think they care. I really do. The reason why they want full stadiums is to make the TV
my
product
point
better.
Around that maybe could have been made better. I think they care more about the hundreds of thousands of people that are outside that stadium than are inside.
They do,
stadium.
but they need full stadiums to make the hundreds of thousands of people outside the stadium care. It's a soulless product if you have no fans in the back of the shop. The reason why fans are so important is because to football companies, to football owners, the reason why fans are so important is because it makes their product sweeter.
Are there any ways that VAR could be improved in your like this new offside thing that's potentially coming in the UEFA thing?
No.
Maybe bring that in and remove VAR and make that automated.
These referees are shit, bro.
It amplifies how bad they are.
These referees
It's like Twitter amplifying the biggest idiots in the world, like the ones that back VAR in the first place.
Referees are shocking. Anyway,
I think in the first place, though, I think it was a good idea. I probably backed it in the first place, but I immediately went back on that when I realised it was terrible.
I knew it was
you
bad.
think?
what tournament was it where VAR was pretty good? Was it a World Cup?
Qatar was okay.
It was really good. Man.
Good's a big word.
I thought
okay.
They implemented it well.